Okay, so this week we are talking about the digestive system. And, the digestive system is for processing and absorbing the food that we eat. So before I start on the instructional part, I have a short little verse to read from you. This is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31. So whatever you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. Okay, now I will share the screen and we will start talking about the absorption of fats. So when we absorb food, most all of the food that we absorb goes into our intestine. We have a little bit of absorption in the stomach, but not very much. And as you will learn when you go through this chapter, your intestine is lined with actually hundreds of thousands of finger-like projections called villi. So here is a drawing of a few villi in your small intestine. Here's an actual photo micrograph of villi taking through a microscopic prepared slide. Over here is a close-up of the villus. So when we look at a villus, the reason that we have the villi is because they greatly increase the surface area. Here is an artery that branches into an arteriole that goes up into the villus. Every villus has an arteriole going up into it, as you can see here. The arteriole will continue with a capillary bed, and then the capillaries will run into a venule and exit the villus. So every villus has a supply of blood going up into it and coming out of it, and it is the blood in the villi that absorb all of the polar molecules that are produced during digestion. However, the lipid molecules are not soluble in blood, so the lipid molecules cannot be absorbed into the blood because they are nonpolar. So what we have to do is we have to attach the nonpolar lipid molecules to a polar protein. This becomes what we call a lipoprotein or a lipoprotein, and they are polar. But they are also very, very large molecules. They are so large that they cannot pass into the capillaries because the openings in the capillaries are too small for the lipoproteins. However, in addition to the capillary bed up in the villus, we also have a blind lymph capillary. Now, if you'll think back to when you were studying the immune system and the lymphatics, you'll remember that we have structures called lymph capillaries. They are extremely permeable. The cells that form the walls of the lymph capillaries are very loosely attached, and large molecules can easily pass from the interstitial fluid into the capillary, the lymph capillary. So then the lymph capillary is continuous with slightly larger lymphatic vessels that will enter the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system will eventually carry the lymph back up to the circulatory system, where the lymphatic system will dump the lymph from the small intestine into the left subclavian vein, and now the phospholipids are in the blood. These lymphatic capillaries are called lacteals, Lacteals, because the lymph in there looks milky. The little particles that get absorbed are called chyle, Chyle, because for the same reason they look sort of milky. So this is how we absorb these large molecules that are not soluble in the water but can be absorbed by using the lipoproteins. Now here again, I suggest that you come back and look at this video again after you have looked at all the structures and the functions of the digestive system. Okay, so that's it for this video.